Save your breath and cool your parts. Hey, look, she wants a heck of 2 roof lights, the stylish house frame furniture, and the Scar cushions with mats and shack back cover. Okay. Right. And she's terrible partial to the Periwinkle Blue, guys. Have I made myself clear, guys?
It has begun!
It's showtime.
I must predict. I'll be back.
This is Video Store Clerks. Welcome to the store.
Good evening, Internet. It is Tuesday. It is 10 p.m. and we are live. This is the Video Store Clerks Podcast. Good evening, gentlemen. It's going to be a fun one tonight. Tonight's topic of discussion is my pick for the week, which is Guy Ritchie's Snatch. Not his actual Snatch, but his film Snatch from 2000. We're celebrating 25 years of Snatch tonight. So welcome to the show. Feel free to join in at any point. Our chat is wide open. We thank everybody for stopping by. We thank all our new subscribers, our old subscribers, and everybody in between. Tonight, we are your clerks. My name is Mike.
I'm Chadman.
I'm Chuck.
And we are going to have a blast. I just want to make a quick programming announcement for next week. We won't be running live like we normally do on Tuesday nights. Next week is our 420 special. So our show is been pre-taped and is going to air on 420. And that episode is How High? Red Man, Method Man, How High? One of the comedy classics. So if you want to check it out, it'll be dropping on 420.
What time are we releasing it?
Good question, Chad. We are actually releasing it at 420 on 420. Makes sense, right? Fantastic. So, episode 155, our 420 special, How High? That will be coming out this Sunday. I believe that's Easter, right? Easter Sunday. WrestleMania Sunday, 420, all rolled up into a ball. So, So 4:20 p.m. You can watch the Video Store Clerks, and then later that evening you can enjoy WrestleMania Night 2. Right. So that's our programming announcement. As we always do, we're going to start the show off with the news.
And a new way to determine if you will have strong bones later on in life. Andrea Cameron explains in tonight's Health Source Report.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Apparently we don't have a Health Source Report.
Some technical problems there.
We'll be back right after this.
Yeah, all right.
She was like, shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy him, shimmy.
That's how you have strong bones. You just do a little dancing, make a little love, and get down tonight.
Down.
It is time for the news, and in Chad Mang's possession is the box office top 10. Hit us with it, Chad Mang.
Number 10, episode 5.3 of The Chosen did $962,000 this week, bringing its last 2 weeks up to $11 million. Fell off quick that second week. Right. Number 9, The Woman in the Yard.
The Woman?
Did $2 million this week. Did $20.3 million the last 3 weeks. Number 8, Snow White did $2.8 million. In the last 4 weeks, it did $82 million. From what I've seen online, they're saying this movie is worse than Dragon Ball Evolve.
Wow, that's heavy.
That's saying it. That's a statement. That shit was terrible. Number 7, A Working Man did $3 million this week. Did 33.5 the last 3 weeks. And number 6, episode 5.6 of The Chosen, first week out, did $6 million. And number 5 is Drop, first week out, doing $7.4 million. I meant to go and check out some of these trailers today because there are a lot of movies that just came out. And I have no idea what most of them are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I dropped the ball on that one. Zing.
Zinga. That's okay.
Number
That's
4.
okay.
Huh?
I said that's okay.
It happens.
It does happen.
Can't all be athletes. Number 4 is Warfare. First week out, did $8.3 million. Not quite sure what that is either.
No clue.
Number 3 is The Amateur. Did 14.8 opening weekend. Not too shabby.
That's got the trailer for that has probably one of the. Have you seen the trailer for it at all?
No.
Okay, in the trailer, the guys in that pool, that glass pool that's up in the air, that's kind of like going across between two buildings, and he blows it up, and that just freaks me the fuck out. I'm terrified of heights, and I see all these pools that are up on a high. I'm just like, no. And that right there, that's pretty. I don't know. I might see it just so I can have fucking horrible PTSD later.
Makes sense.
I need some Dramamine for no reason. Number 2. I don't know if this is like a Triple H story or what. The King of Kings, first week out, did $19.3 million. And number 1, Return to Sender, Minecraft, the movie, did $78.5 million this week, bringing it up to $279 million the last 2 weeks.
The kids love it.
Man, have you been seeing the wild shit that's been happening at theaters with that movie?
What is happening?
I hear there's shit going on.
Well, like, I guess during one scene, there's a scene where Jack Black's character, they're in like a wrestling ring kind of thing, and I guess one of the characters jumps on, I can't remember what they say, chicken ninja or something like that, and like everybody erupts and all these kids like start throwing shit and it's just wild. I've seen video clips. I watched a video the other day that it was like 30 minutes long, all about that shit. What
the fuck's a chicken ninja?
It's chicken something, and I can't remember what it is, but like it's I don't know. It's these little characters that are in Minecraft. And
who are you calling chicken?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me. Like, I mean, it looks like a zoo has been unleashed in these theaters. Like these kids just act fucking nuts. It's like, I get that parents drop their kids off, but what about the people that are in there that's like families? Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're all like dodging shit and like, you know, they can't enjoy, like, fucking teach your kids some fucking manners. Like, really?
You got to dodge the blocks, Chuck. You got to dodge the blocks.
I guess that's why I don't go to the theater much at all.
Only if it's something really worth going to see. Like, I wouldn't mind going to go see Sinners, but we'll be in Vegas.
Sinners looks cool.
Yes, it does. Other news we have this week. There's a lot of new series, spinoff, new adaptation, remakes this week. So the news is kind of janky. There was a few deaths, but I don't want to mention them because that's just depressing.
We gotta
mention them. We always do. Why stop now?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. Jesus Christ. We always mention people who die.
I didn't even save that one. I've only really heard of one that really struck my attention, and that was Ted Kotcheff that directed Rambo. He died at the age of 94. So that's all I have that I didn't see.
Well, Nikki, Nikki Cat passed away as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dazed and Confused, and of course,
Suburbia.
Hey, he was only 54.
the Burbs, man. That's the lame-o.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was also
Hey,
in
lame-o.
Suburbia. You ever seen
It's just
Suburbia?
Yeah.
Which one? Like the
The-
movie?
No, this one has Giovanni Ribisi or whatever his name is. In it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that
He's
one.
the cat's he's the drunk dude. He's
Yeah.
just always, Good movie.
And then earlier today, Wink Martindale passed away.
Who?
Wink Martindale. You know, the iconic game show host.
From what?
From what decade?
Fucking like several decades. What are you talking about? Like Tic Tac Toe? You know, Wink Martindale? Fucking, that's like a household name.
I never really watch that kind of shit, so I have no clue who you're talking about. What game shows?
Tic Tac Toe, Gambit, High Rollers, old school shit.
No, rest in peace though. But yeah, I have no clue what those are.
I was always a pressure luck kind of guy.
I was always
No-
had more
no
things
whammies.
to watch than that.
No,
shit.
no whammies. Stop.
Oh, was it the whammy guy?
No.
No.
Oh,
I was just saying that was always my favorite game show.
Okay. I had an ex whose grandmother really loved that show.
those
So
best.
you ready to hear this clusterfuck of nonsense?
Sure.
Just spew it.
All right. So first, we're gonna go with series that are coming out.
Okay.
So Mike Flanagan is doing the Carrie series for Amazon. It's not quite greenlit yet. but they'll
Walt
be
Flanagan?
not Walt Flanagan.
Oh, okay.
But this series is going to go off the air faster than Walt Flanagan's dog.
Guaranteed.
That's fast.
How the fuck do you make a TV show out of Carrie?
But Summer H. Howe will be playing Carrie White in this series. And like I said, Amazon has not yet greenlit it, but it sounds like it's close to being in production.
In the chamber.
Why? Why do these fucking like series of like
One-
of a movie? No, the thing is, how many fucking remakes have we had? This 2 or 3, and then you have like some shitty sequels or whatever the fuck. The story's been told. It's been told. What more is there to say? Nothing. Shut the fuck up. Make something good. Fucking pay attention to something that actually needs eyes on it instead of shit that's had eyes on it over and over again to the point where everybody wants to stab their fucking eyes.
I didn't care for the remake films they made, so it's not the
Lazy.
OGL. It's not, I don't want it.
Lazy
Since it's
booking.
basic, I don't want it.
It's like the Swamp Thing fucking TV show. I watched what they put out of it, and it wasn't even done. Looked pretty cool to me, but yet they're fucking gonna make a Carrie fucking TV series. Eat my ass and shut the fuck up. This is dumb shit.
All right.
Dumb.
So one that I'm not mad about is Amazon's also bringing out the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon series based on the Crane Iron series by Wang DeLu, which I love that movie. So hopefully they don't fuck this up.
I'm not a big fan. Like obviously, whatever. That I don't watch usual movies like that, but like that one makes more sense.
I
You know
watch
what I mean?
anything martial arts, I'm in.
Right.
Sure.
All right, so a new Disney adaptation is coming to light. Brad Stryker, who worked on Terrifier 3, is to direct the new Aladdin horror film called The Monkey's Paw. It is to begin production at the end of the month in the UK. Or next month.
It's an Aladdin horror movie.
Yes.
Oh my god, they really are reaching on this one, aren't they?
But it's with a monkey's paw.
Yeah, let's turn everything we can. Everything. Are they gonna
They already-
cut off his buddy's hand, like his little monkey friend, and then it's his hand? Probably.
They already did an Aladdin horror movie. It's called Wishmaster. All right.
It's about
Rub the
Shazam.
lamp, and the genie pops out. Shazam.
True.
Shazam.
True.
Also, one that we threw around in our chat this week was Silent Night, Deadly Night remake with
Mhm.
Rowan Campbell that ruined Halloween Ends to play
Fucking
Billy
hate
What are you
Crabtree.
talking about? Ruined it. He made it. That's the new face of fear. All right.
He's
Forget
kidding,
Michael
folks.
Myers. I'm
He's
not kidding.
being serious. He's not
Michael
being
Myers. Michael Myers is old news. If you like Michael Myers, hey, that's great. But Corey Cunningham is the future.
No,
serious. No.
you're the first person to ever say that, I think.
You got to get on board. All right. I've turned a new leaf. All right.
No, you haven't.
I'm Team Corey.
Bullshit.
But that should be out later this year.
You've ripped up that trilogy's fucking T-shirt and busted up the DVD. You're so full of shit.
Sometimes you got to go to a dark place in order to embrace the light.
Don't lead people into that shit. Who are you, Jim Jones? Fucking sadist. Anyway,
hey, if you want to drink the Kool-Aid, go right ahead.
No Kool-Aid over here, just Hennessy.
Very good.
All right, so last but not least, Takashi Yamazaki is making a sequel to Godzilla Minus One. It's called Godzilla Minus One Part 2.
I was hoping it would be like -2.
You would think.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But no. But I did dig the first one, so let's see what he can do.
I'm not a big Godzilla fan. I'm not really like big and like to huge monsters and all that shit or whatever. But I did watch that one and it wasn't bad. It's pretty entertaining. So
I think they're talking about making the have Godzilla fight Gado. I think it wasn't his name Gado,
something like that.
The one that fought Mothman or Mothman. Fucking
oh shit! I didn't see that one.
He gave him beans and rubbed his ass.
Get that crossover. Yeah, at least somebody rubbed his ass, Chuck. You were too scared.
I did not know that was a thing. I thought you all were joking, and then we turned around and everybody's rubbing its fucking ass and leaving beans.
I grabbed the steel cheeks.
We're talking about Mothman
festival.
The festival, yeah. So in case you didn't catch on to that, talking about the Mothman statue, not an actual man that you touch his butt.
We're not out here pulling spaceys, grabbing asses.
Oh.
Yeah. But that's all the news I got for this week.
Wow, fantastic!
Over to you, Mike.
Thank you so much for that, Jedmang. Another fun news-filled night. All right, so let's just get into the main event. 2000's Snatch, directed and written by Guy Ritchie. Before this, he did a couple things, but most notably was Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, which I wasn't. It was okay. I wasn't a huge fan of it. This was probably the first film I saw of Guy Ritchie's that I really enjoyed, and it's got a star-studded cast, which helps. So starring Jason Statham, you got Brad Pitt, Benicio del Toro, Dennis Farina. Yeah, that's what I said.
You said Statham.
Statham. Depends on who you talk to.
Book him, Dano. All right, continue.
What we got here?
Sorceress.
Welcome. But yeah, we got a star-studded cast in Snatch, and I think this is such a fun film. It's one of those. It's got elements of crime. It's got comedy. It's got so much in it. It was only a $10 million budget, and they ended up grossing over $83 million at the box office. So huge success for Guy Ritchie. And in my opinion, like I said, Statham was in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. But this is what?
He's in Two.
I've never heard anybody say it besides Jason Statham.
I thought that was the porn name.
Statham.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Statham.
Now that was actually this is actually connected to that movie though, isn't it?
It is. It's I don't know if it's the same universe or not, but they are connected, both done by Guy Ritchie, obviously. But this for me, this is my introduction to Jason Statham, and I think for most people it was, Brad Pitt had just
him and probably Vinnie Jones.
Vinnie Jones, maybe. He'd been I think he'd been in a couple other things, but he always has those secondary roles. So, he's never been the big star of anything. I mean, what was that? The Condemned? What was that? That Steve Austin?
Yeah.
Wasn't he in that? Yeah. So. Yeah, but great actor, man. He's one of those guys that's the stereotypical villain. But we'll get to that.
Juggernaut, bitch. There
you go. But yeah, Jason Statham is coming out party for this film. We start the film off right with him and Tommy, Stephen Graham, who plays Tommy. You got Turkish and Tommy, and they're kind of the anchor of the film, where you get the story. It's a story that kind of weaves in and out of other stories, and I think that's what makes it so much fun, is that you hop around from different characters, and everything's kind of intertwined, and it all comes back around full circle in the end. So Jason Statham and Tommy, they're boxing promoters, actually, and they're getting involved. This man Bricktop, that's a great name, Bricktop, who's played by Alan Ford. Oddly enough, they had originally wanted Sean Connery to play Bricktop, and he said, "You couldn't afford me."
You cannot afford me.
Which is very true, especially if the budget was a Sean Connery. You're mucking with a G. Yeah, they're boxing promoters, and it turns out that it's going to be in this whole jewelry robbing scenario, because we cut to Benicio del Toro, who's Frankie Four Fingers. There you go, Four Fingers, who is going into this jewel shop, and him and his buddies are going to rob it and get this. What was it? 86 carat diamond?
86 or 84. Either way, it's a lot.
There's a lot of carats.
Yeah, there's
like a whole bag.
The size of a freaking walnut. Huge diamond, which God, I don't even know how much that would be worth.
It's a huge diamond. It's a fantastic diamond.
It's fantastic. Yes.
Too big of a diamond.
But yeah, these guys go in. They rob the place. I don't know. It's funny to me, the metal detector thing, and he only picks up like the belt, and then once they get in there, he's fucking strapped with all these guns, and I'm like, well, why didn't you that pick up? They scanned the chest and whatever, semantics. But they get in there, they steal the jewels, and that kind of sets everything in motion. So what do you guys remember, Chad? What was your memories of first seeing this film whenever it came out?
I was a big fan of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels whenever it came out. Then this came out. I don't even think I watched it. I just bought it because that's just kind of what we did back in the day. You would just see a movie you want to see, and you just be like, "Fuck it!" Like I think that's how I acquired like 600 DVDs or whatever back in the day. But I mean, I've watched this movie numerous. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I've watched it probably in the 50s somewhere. Sure. We used to just, because every time I watched Lock, Stock, I always went straight to this movie. But I did find this movie a little better than Lock, Stock just because of the comedy, and like it seems like it starts off kind of slow in the very beginning, but then it just doesn't stop, because it's kind of like that Tarantino effect where it like has like 3 to 4 different stories just kind of flip-flopping, and then they kind of overlap each other. So like one part of shit's going down while like another part of something else is going down across town. So they just keep kind of bouncing back and forth. So like it's just constant like keeping your attention without getting bored with one story. You just keep bouncing back and forth right around whenever you probably would just want to see something else happen. And I always like those. I always like those kind of films.
See, for me, I didn't think it started off slow. I think it was one of the things I noticed was they kind of get right into it. Guy Ritchie, it's like, bam, they start introducing all the different characters, right? It's like, oh, here's Turkish, here's Tommy, here's Bullet Tooth Tony, Frankie Four Fingers. They go through the whole thing. And it's like, there's a lot of films where you don't have that kind of rundown.
Right. I didn't like that.
Sitting there trying to figure out, you're trying to figure out who all these characters are and everything like that. And you're like, wait, who's this? Who's that? But it's like, boom, he just right out the gate does a rundown, and it's like, okay, we got that out of the way, and we get straight to the action and get straight to the story. So I liked it where it's like, okay, we don't need all the bullshit. Just there's your characters, and here we go.
For me, saying the beginning is kind of slow. I'm saying like the first, say, 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, like 10 minutes, and then it kind of goes. No, I hadn't seen this movie since I was like 15 or 16, I think. It wasn't one that I really wanted to watch, but what actually did get my buddy Jason, who was a big fan of it, what got me actually to watch it was him saying that it's a lot like Pulp Fiction. and it has a kind of the same kind of feel to it. And
Sure.
it sold me. I didn't hate it. I liked it pretty well. Rewatching it earlier, I remember a few things from it. It's a good movie. It's a fun one. But yeah, no. First 10 minutes, it just kind of gives you like the rundown, pretty much, and then it's kind of boom, 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 boom from there. It's a good one. Yeah.
And you definitely get to see Guy Ritchie's style. In this film, there's so many different cuts that he does. Different ways where it just cuts to a different scene, or they kind of fade in, zoom out, whatever. He does a lot of different styles in this film, and that's one of the things that I noticed back in the day whenever I first saw it. It was like, okay, this is different. Especially like there's the one part where he rolls the cylinder of the gun, and the camera spins the same way that the gun would. And it's just little stuff like that is kind of a signature of Guy Ritchie, and I think it's interesting. It's different, and it makes things kind of stand out more so. Especially there's a lot of violence in this. Not like gratuitous violence or anything like that. The thing that you notice is the people that do get killed, most of the time they're being killed off screen. So it's like, you'll see something happen, but it's going on, secondary. It's not like, full blown, like, oh, this guy's getting shot in the head right in front of you or whatever. It's like, oh, he got shot, now he's there or whatever. So it's just a different style. And I think that's what kind of made Guy Ritchie stand out back then. Whenever another thing is whenever they're doing the robbery, they're following the different cameras, like security cameras. And it's interesting how they go from one to the other, because it's like, he's either doing that whole story of, the Virgin Mary or whatever, which I guess was supposed to be kind of a nod to Reservoir Dogs. Yeah. And Madonna's Like a Virgin. So you got the Virgin Mary and Like a Virgin, and the connection. Guy Ritchie was dating Madonna at the time, ended up marrying her later in 2000. They were married from 2000 to 2008. So, and he got to use her music in this film, which we'll talk about later as well. But you get it right into the film. You see the style of Guy Ritchie and everything like that. Now you got all these different characters, and it's like, where are we going? So they steal this 86 karat diamond, I believe it was. And now you got Dennis Farina, cousin Avi, who wants the diamond. He's supposed to be getting it back from Benicio del Toro and Frankie Four Fingers. And but good old Frankie Four Fingers has a gambling problem. I like another cool thing was whenever Avi's talking to Frankie, and Frankie's in like that suit store, and he's getting fitted for suits. Every time it cuts back and forth between Avi and Frankie, he's wearing a different outfit. Yeah. And I thought that was
noticed
cool.
that today.
How they do it. Yeah, and then it ends with him like, with no pants on.
I think that every movie that Benicio del Toro has been in, I don't think that he's used a regular voice. He always has some weird voice with just about every movie that he's in. The only one I can think where he actually used a somewhat normal voice was in that horrible Wolfman movie. But yeah, no, because he just, I don't know, because remember like Usual Suspects, I think he was the same one on that too.
Yeah.
He's so good. Such a good actor.
What did he do with the diamonds? But yeah. So fucking Frankie is trying to get this sell this diamond. He's going to Boris the Blade. Because that's what he's just traveled. He's got to get a gun, because they remember in the back of the van, fucking the guy gives him the number for Boris, and they're trying to set Frankie up. So he goes over there, he meets with Boris, and Boris is like, oh, he's savvy to what's going on, and he's like setting him up to where fucking go and do this bet, because I got some insider information. He's appealing to Frankie's fucking gambling nature. So he's trying to tell him about this boxing match that's going on, and hoping to set him up, because he wants him to go over this bookie, and then they're going to rob him. So that's Boris's fucking plan is to rob him and get this diamond. who's I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Raid Serbedzia, who plays Boris the Blade.
Yeah, that's a weird name.
He's been in a bunch of films. Like he's one of those ones where you recognize his face, and fucking like he's been like Quarantine and Shooter and fucking he was in like the 05 Fog film. You know, he's been in a bunch
Another
of
horrible
he
remake.
reminds me.
I hate that fucking movie.
Hey, he always reminds me of the one villain from John Wick. You know who I'm talking about? Like that main guy.
Yeah.
The
I've
first
never
one.
seen it.
Yeah, they have. You never seen John Wick? Man,
I
right,
don't
whatever.
watch much but horror.
You need to expand your horizon, son.
When I have time, I'll do it.
Branch out.
One day.
Branch out.
Feed all the limbs.
So yeah, so fucking cousin Avi's trying to get this diamond back off Frankie. Fucking we got Boris the Blade who's trying to rob Frankie, and he gets what? He gets Saul, he gets Tyrone, and he gets Vinny. These three guys to go, and the plan is for them to rob him and bring the briefcase back because he's got it chained to his arm.
Those three,
or whatever.
Those
They don't know
three
what.
are probably one of the better parts of the movie for me. Like they fucking crack me up because they're just stupid.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's one of those ones. I think they said that all their scenes were taken from like real life crimes that happened, where it's like you remember what was that the America's Dumbest Criminals or something like that. Yeah, where you'd watch it and these guys fuck up every crime. And they just took all those different ideas and threw them into these characters. And Saul is played by Lenny James. A lot of people know him from Walking Dead, and he's been in a lot of other stuff as well. But these guys are like the comedy relief. There's other funny stuff that's going on, but like you said, Chad, these fucking guys are hilarious because they're so stupid. It's like the dumbest shit happens.
Did anybody else have the Erykah Badu song going through their head every time his name was mentioned?
Who?
Tyrone.
You can call on Tyrone.
I usually hear that in my head, then I think of fucking Friday.
Oh well.
Tyrone looking like
that's exactly what I thought too. Yeah,
he looks just like him in that song. It's funny. They should have had him.
He's such a big dude. Then they get that little fucking Cooper, and he's like trying to squeeze his big ass in there, and they're like,
"Who the fuck is this? Did you say this is our getaway driver?"
He's quick when he needs to be, mate. That whole fucking scene cracks me up. Because then, like, they fucking have the dog and he eats the fucking chew toy, and then he squeaks the rest of the fucking movie, and then he's
because it's stuck in his fucking throat.
Tyrone's in there bitching. He's like, "Don't let the dog dribble on my seats." He's like, "We stole the car." He's like, "When I'm driving, it's my car, it's my seats."
I mean,
and they said they had a lot of fucking issues with that dog. Like he would get very violent. I think he even attacked Lenny James.
I think that scene where he attacked him in the car is actually a real scene. Like I think they were like they just put it back in there.
Probably a real cut. Yeah, it's like fucking.
But then it's just funny because like there's like a fucking they're doing like the little like post up outside, and then he's like, "Why don't you park over there?" And he's like, "It's too tight." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And then he ends up backing into fucking Benicio's van and trapping him inside of it. He's like, "Does he really drive?"
Yeah, you could fucking park a 747 over there, mate. Whatever he says. It's just this fucking huge space. But yeah, man, those guys are hilarious in this film. And so we got those guys who are trying to rob fucking Frankie, but Frankie gets trapped in the van. Fucking rob the bookies. It's chaos, man. Yeah, go in the bookies and all bets are off. And fucking so there's no money in there. It's like whatever. All right, but yeah, we talked about Bricktop, Alan Ford, man. Exorcist Beginning, he was in Lock, Stock as well. Great character, man. He's like the OG guy in the film that everybody's afraid of because they know you can't fuck with him. If you do, right out the gate we learn, he fucking just kills you and feeds you to the pigs, man.
Never trust the man that owns pigs.
Shit.
Or has a pig farm.
Yeah,
true.
That's true. Yeah, what the fuck? So yeah, Bricktop. I'm trying to think who else we got. I think that's most of the main cast right there. They're our main players.
Yeah, then you got like Bricktop's little buddy Errol.
Yeah, Errol. You got like Gorgeous George. Gorgeous George. Is the boxer that they're going to use for the fight.
Brody.
And yeah, and then fucking what? Turkish isn't happy with the fucking the caravan that they got. He's we gotta get a better one. And he's like, what's wrong with this one? Like, oh, it's fucking tip top. I just want a different color. Yeah, fucking
I don't
tip
like the
top,
color.
mate.
So much for them sausages.
Sends Tommy over to the fucking Packers, and then this is where we get to see Brad Pitt in all of his glory. They said Brad Pitt was such a fan of Lock, Stock, and Guy Ritchie. He wanted to work with him so bad. He was going to do anything, and apparently he couldn't get the accent down for any other role. And Guy Ritchie ended up giving him the role of Mickey. So
the gypsy, man, he nails it too, because fucking it's one of those ones. I think he was hesitant. They said that to take this role because he had just got done doing Fight Club, which was kind of a fighting role. And he's like, oh, I don't want to be another fighter or whatever. But he was so excited to work with Guy Ritchie. He's like, fuck it.
Some killer fight scenes though with him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He does a great job. And just that verbiage. I think in Lock, Stock, they had the same type of gypsies, right? I can't remember that film that well. I think I only saw it once.
It's been a while since I've actually seen it too. Like both of these movies, because like once I sold them on DVD, I never rebought them, unfortunately, on Blu-ray.
Okay.
But I think they did have somebody in there like that, because there was Harry the Butcher, and then they went and fucked a bunch of shit up. That's my story.
But I think they were saying that was one of the biggest criticisms was from that first film, Lock, Stock, that you got these guys, you can fucking understand their fucking dialogue.
Yeah, they all had stuff.
Okay. Yeah. So take that, and it's like, oh, that's a huge criticism. We're going to throw it in this film, and it's going to be the comedy. You're going to have Brad Pitt and all these guys, and they're talking. You can't fucking understand the thing they're saying. Fucking dags. You like fucking dags?
It's like, what? Dags. Oh, dogs. Yeah, I like dags.
All right. So yeah, these guys, and he's fucking Tommy's got to get this caravan, and he's trying to get a good deal, and turns out what they sell him, the fucking wheels just fall off the motherfucker.
Yeah. He's like, we want the money back. He's like, I don't want a broken van. Yeah.
So, okay, well, now we got a problem, because I want my money back. I don't want this van. And they decide that Gorgeous George is going to fight Mickey for it. Little did they know.
I'll fight you for it.
Yeah. Little did they know that Mickey is a bare knuckle boxing champion. So all it takes is one fucking punch, and Gorgeous George is sleeping.
And he's still almost into that Fight Club shape that he was in. Like, he's still kind of cut and has a little build on him, but you can tell it's going away.
Yeah, you can definitely see it there. And it's fun because, fucking George is fucking beating the shit out of him. And he's like, stretching. He's, he gets knocked down on that thing, and he's like bending at the knees or whatever. And they
through the fence.
Yeah.
And they just like kind of like push the fence gate back up, and then he's like stretching and shit before they push him up. Then he bends over and touches his toes, and he's like, all right.
And it's like, boom. Just one
hit.
Fucks him up.
Well, one of the fastest punches there are.
Why would you put your fucking prize fighter in a goddamn bare knuckle boxing match 2 days before
the next day or something?
Yeah, like 2 days.
Yeah.
and fucking Turkish is like, what do you think was going to happen? Fucking shiatsu. So yeah, now we got the problem is that we don't got no fucking fighter. So what are you going to do? Fucking go to your Bricktop and like, hey, we got to get a new fighter, and decide they're going to use the piker.
You fucking prat. Bricktop's so good in this shit. And it's funny because he auditioned fucking 3 times for this before he got the role. Like the first 2 times, like Guy Ritchie was just like, nah. And then they couldn't get Connery. And then he like went back to audition a 3rd time, and he forgot his glasses or his contacts. So he had to put the glasses on. And then that's whenever Guy Ritchie was like, yeah, this is our guy.
This is our guy.
They just had him wear his glasses the whole time.
Funny how that works out sometimes, right?
Right?
Just got to throw on some glasses, and it's like fucking Clark Kent. Clark Kent, you throw on some fucking glasses, and he's a totally different person.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so now fucking they're getting Mickey to fight for him, And then in his price is you got to buy him a caravan for his mem.
Take care of me, mom.
And it's funny because the mom reminded me a lot of the mom from Death of Smoochie. It's not the same. It's not the same actress or anything like that, but just the way they portrayed it.
Yeah,
that Irish character.
I can see that.
Unfortunately, they kind of took the whole take care of my mom thing a little the other way.
Whoa. Yeah.
Well,
it goes, it gets dark. All right. But, so, okay, fucking what? Now Mickey's going to fight for him. And fucking dumbass Mickey doesn't know his own strength. He goes to the fight and, he's supposed to throw it in the fourth, I believe. Yeah. And instead knocks him out in the first round.
Yeah, like 20 seconds in.
Yeah, just like
what the
fuck? I love that reaction from him, where he's just like, he just shrugs his shoulders, like, what the fuck? He kind
of has that little shit-eating smirk on his face, like, eh.
Yeah, he's like, done to my own strength. Fuck.
He had a weak jaw.
Now fucking Bricktop is embarrassed. All these guys that he gave tips to or whatever are pissed off because they lost money, and he's got to figure out what to do. Fucking now he's got to take it out of Turkish's ass. Turkish and Tommy fucking go there. He takes their money. He fucking basically says, hey, you got to make this right or whatever. And now they're on the hook because fucking Mickey just decided to fuck it all up. But
he sure did.
So now we got you got Saul and those guys who they ended up robbing the place and they get trapped. I think that's another funny part is whenever they fucking get trapped in the bookie's place, and he's like
trying to kick the door open.
Yeah. He's like, fuck, and he shoots, and it's like, and he's like, it didn't even hit you or whatever. And then fucking Tyrone just comes and opens the door like, oh, what are you guys doing?
He's like, what are you guys doing in here?
Yeah.
They just didn't take their masks off.
Yeah.
They gave up too easy.
Easy.
Way too easy.
Yeah.
It's like those fucking dumbass criminals that fall through the drop ceiling and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen some videos where this kind of very same thing happens, except nobody opens the door for them.
Right.
It's like guys get locked into these surroundings.
Well,
and it's like that actually happens more than you think. It's funny.
Dumb as fucks.
Yep. Fucking.
And what you got? You got what? After that, Turkish and Tommy go back to see Mickey and try to get him to do the second fight.
Yeah.
And then they have like that dog rabbit hunting competition or whatever.
Yeah, proper fucked.
Which is the scene we had in our intro.
Isn't that when
me up?
That's when his mom's trailer's on fire, right?
Yeah, it was shortly after that.
Well, that was after the fact. But that's an interesting sequence, and the way Guy Ritchie does it, it's interesting because they tell that whole story about the dogs and the rabbit, and then they're showing the actual dogs chasing the rabbit, but at the same time, these guys Bricktop's guys are chasing down Tyrone because he's trying to figure out who robbed his bookie. So you have those two scenarios playing out in real time, back and forth between each other, and they're both kind of telling the same story, like, dogs are trying to get the rabbit, we're trying to get fucking this Tyrone guy who's just a fucking lackey or whatever. So I like how that little whole scenario was played out, that scene. It's different,
It's just funny how they back up against that van door and lock Benicio in there. Then whenever they come, they pull forward to leave, then he's coming out. Yeah, and he comes out, and then he gets knocked out by Tyrone. And then he's like, what are you doing?
In the back seat.
Four-fingered man. He had a briefcase. They're like, all right.
Yeah. Just fucking kidnap this guy.
He's all tied up with a sack on his head. And then who comes in there then? Was that
Boris?
Boris the Blade, yeah.
Yeah, because now he's going to those guys. He wants the brief. He's supposed to get the briefcase because he wants the diamond. They don't know until now that there is actual diamond in there. So now they want to try to fucking up their rate because he's like,
You
oh,
want
well,
half, Eddie.
well, here's the 10,000, and you were supposed to get whatever was at the bookie, but the bookie was closed, so whatever, you get the 10K. They're like, no, we want to renegotiate, and then fucking they made the mistake of saying his name within earshot of Frankie. So, of course, unceremoniously, Frankie's got to die. Boom. Kind of sucks. Kind of sucks, man, because I love Benicio, and
Oh yeah,
you know, it's just one of those ones. It's kind of like a comical death where, you know, and that happens with a couple other characters in this film. But it sucks, but at the same time, it kind of, you know, you're just like, oh, it doesn't draw it out too much to where it's like, you know, some characters, you know, they're really good, and the more they show them, it kind of like loses its luster. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, it was just enough of that character, which was good enough. You know what I mean?
What's funny about Benicio is, like, I was watching this interview with Guy Ritchie, and he was saying, like, in that robbery scene where they're getting the diamond, he like tells him like exactly what to do or whatever, and then he's like, all right, action, and he did something completely different. And then at the end of it, Ritchie was like, all right, that worked.
Yeah,
I was like, that's pretty dope. Like, Benicio was just like, fuck it, I'm doing what I want.
Well, he knows, you know, Benicio is a veteran, you know, so he's just like, you know, goes with an instinct, like, yeah, do your thing, and we'll just, you know, let it roll. So
that whole scene was pretty funny though, where he's like, fucking, the blade comes in there and just chops off his fucking arm.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Takes the arm and the briefcase, but I don't know why he cut it up so high. He could have cut it down towards the wrist and actually like pulled the hand out and just took the briefcase. Instead, he like chopped him like mid forearm. Fucking takes the whole arm. And he's like,
takes
bottom your problem.
because Boris is fucking crazy, man.
Keep the money and get rid of the body.
Yeah. Isn't that whenever fucking Bricktop comes in and tells the pig story?
Yeah. Because now they figured out who robbed him. Tyrone's giving him up, and fucking Bricktop shows up. He's like, oh, is this a bad time? They're trying to carry out Frankie's body. And you know, they don't know who Bricktop is. Their buddy knows, but they don't know. And he's sitting there and he tells that whole story about the pigs and everything like that.
They can eat 200-pound man in 10 minutes.
8 minutes. 8 minutes, I think he said. Yeah. Can consume 2 pounds of uncooked flesh every minute.
Yeah.
And that's where the term "as greedy as a pig" comes from. And now they're fucking about to fucking whack Saul and those guys, because, you know, they're the ones that fucking ripped him off.
Right.
Which they didn't rip him off. They tried to rip him off, but
yeah.
But then they fucking explained to them, hey, let us live, give us time, and we'll get you a huge diamond.
Yeah, they're like 4 days, and he's like 48 hours.
Yeah, 48 hours. That's all I'll give you. And you can keep this fat fuck because our boys can't carry him or whatever.
There was a serial killer. I want to say was in England, whose name was like
Jack the Ripper.
No, who was like Richard Pigman or something like that, and he got rid of bodies because of his pig farm. I'm like, huh? No one saw that one coming.
Yeah, I need to get me a pig farm.
Man, it's too much work. Too much
I mean,
work.
his
How many? I
last
mean,
name
really, how
was-
many bodies?
Huh?
Pigman. He's the
Pigman.
pig man.
Pigman. That was it's his actual last name.
Pink.
He actually just got released a couple of years ago.
Oh,
But yeah, he killed. It was over like 15, 20 people, and like he got rid of their bodies, most of their bodies, in the pig pen. Yeah.
He is the pig man. He is the walrus. Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Well, I mean, what he got released there? What they got the resentencing of the Menendez brothers coming up, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. That should be interesting.
crazy.
Yeah.
You think they'll get released?
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sure. You know, the thing is, though, with those guys, like everybody, like, you know, watched that documentary or whatever, that movie about them. I didn't watch it. I wouldn't be shocked these days if they would let those motherfuckers go. But I remember when I was a kid and all that shit going on. Like, I don't know. Like, just seems like a bunch of greedy kids.
Every time I hear their name, I think of Cable Guy and Ben Stiller.
Right. Or that baseball card that has them in the background of it right after they killed their parents. They're just having a great basketball. Sorry, I don't dig sports. My bad. I don't know. I just know it was a sports thing and they're in the background.
Just taking in a Knicks game, no big deal. Killed my parents.
Yeah, they looked really upset about it, right?
Good time.
Yeah, whatever.
We'll see how that plays out. But yeah.
That's whenever you get the fire and they kill Mick's mom, right?
Yeah, he's trying to send a message, or because they're Turkish and Tommy go back and they're trying to get him to fight or whatever.
Yeah, he won't do it.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, you're gonna do it, and fucking, Bricktop's got to fucking throw his weight around, So he smashes up the slot parlor that Turkish owns, and they go over and they burn the caravan with Mickey's mom in it. Man, that's a brutal scene. It's like, with so much comedy in the film, that's that one scene that kind of stands out to me where, as the fire is burning and you see those guys holding Brad Pitt back, holding Mickey back. And
you believe that. You feel that emotion.
Yeah. And you see the hurt and the pain in his eyes, so it's one of the more serious scenes that takes place.
Anytime there's a fire and somebody, like, I don't know, like, did you ever watch Sons of Anarchy? Did you ever watch that show? All right, where Tiggs, where his daughter. Yeah, dude, that is one of the most brutal scenes. Like, as a parent, that is hard to watch.
Such a good show.
Yeah, really. But yeah, no, that scene's kind of, because like you said, it kind of shifts the movie, like the motive a little bit. It's all fun and games and fighting and kicking ass, and then it's like, oh, now there's a revenge aspect of things too.
Yeah. There's real stakes because it's funny to see Bricktop acting like this badass who's fucking feeding people to pigs and everything like that. But now it's like, okay, something has really actually been done to where, all right, it's affecting one of our characters. It's not just, oh, we're throwing around these fucking nobody fucking criminals. It's like, oh, you killed his mom, man. It's fucked up.
Well, you can't forget Pitt's buddy Darren, Jason Fleming. His hair in this movie fucking kills me.
It's a great haircut.
It's like the fucking craziest mullet of all time.
I was almost expecting you to have that haircut tonight, Jed.
No.
It's the same guy that is actually in George Romero's Bruiser.
Okay.
Which is,
he's been in a lot of shit.
That's the only one that I remember him from, was just that movie, because that's one that doesn't get enough love, I don't think.
I remember he was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in The Distinguished Gentleman, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Totally wrong movie.
Never saw it, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It was
that haircut of his, though, man. That's here in old Kentucky. I see a lot of people with that haircut.
I bet.
Yeah. He could just be one of us.
You need to just get a wig that looks like that, Chuck. You'll fit right in.
No.
The Joe Derrite wig.
Oh God. That's one thing I don't fucking understand. Let me just get this out of the way real quick. Mullets. I remember when everybody was like, it was a joke. Somebody had a mullet. Oh, look how funny it is. They got a mullet. That's so stupid. Blah, blah, blah.
Man, business up front, party in the back.
And now mullets are back and people are wearing them, and women are loving these country guys that have this shit. And people are thinking it's a good idea. And I'm like, man, what does this country come to? I mean, when a joke turns into a fucking style, turns into a trend. I had a friend that used to take pictures of every mullet that she saw at every festival she was at. And now she just loves the mullet. And I'm like,
started scrapbooking.
I don't know. And there's kids with mullets. I'm like, what are we teaching our kids here?
I don't understand it.
If anybody out there is anybody out there watching, kids that have mullets, I don't mean anything by it. Whatever.
Yeah, he does.
I think it's the stupidest fucking haircut.
We're just jealous because we're bald.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Sit down and shut up, you big bald fuck.
I love that. That was almost my name on here, was big bald fuck.
Especially that quick cut, because it's like whenever Avi comes, because he's got to fly over because fucking fucking what's his name? God damn it, the head. Oh shit, I can't remember his name. But
his name
he loses Frankie, so fucking Avi flies over to London. You know, fucking Mary Poppins, London, fucking, and fucking. As soon as he gets there, they do the quick cuts where he gets his passport stamp, or he takes the pills or whatever on the plane. He gets his passport stamp. Yeah, takes a shot, and fucking he's there, and all of a sudden he's in his office, and he's like, "Sit down and shut up, you big ball fuck." It's just it's such a good scene.
His scenes are pretty funny,
like I said,
too.
I love those cuts. Yeah, Dennis Farina's man is a fucking great actor. Love him in this film. And then, you know, this ends up leading to him hiring fucking Vinnie Jones as Bullet Tooth Tony to find that diamond bag, man. So fucking Bullet Tooth Tony. I don't know what I should call him, like Bullet or Tooth or
it was Doug the Head.
Doug the Head, that's it.
Mike Reed.
Yeah. I love the when you first see Vinny, he's beating someone's head in with a fucking car door. I'm like, that is a perfect introduction.
Just smashing their head.
I like the flashback whenever he has the mullet.
Oh yeah.
And the guy's just shooting him. He shoots him like 6 times.
Yeah,
and he's just like, he's like ah. And then you got fucking Madonna's Lucky Star playing, which
I love this.
Then whenever they're in the car, he has that guy, and the fucking he's trying to figure out
Mullet, and his name is Mullet.
Yeah, in the window, and he's just dragging him along, trying to figure out who robbed the bookie, and fucking, you know, that song's playing again. So playing while, you know, he's doing this like kind of interrogation type thing.
Yeah, too much Madonna for me.
You don't like Madonna? I thought you were a big Madonna fan.
No.
I liked her early shit.
The only thing about Madonna, like I have respect for her to a degree. I think she's a little bit of a fucking weirdo anymore, more so than she always has been. But the coolest thing that she ever did was after Dimebag from Pantera was killed while playing with Damage Plan, she did some performance on TV or something, and she was playing guitar, and towards the end of the song, they break into the main riff of New Level from Pantera, and she's playing the and I'm like, what the fuck? And I always thought that was kind of cool. So, you know, gotta respect the classics, and you know, she definitely has her place in music and all that. And you know, 'cause we all grew up listening to Madonna and shit. Always seeing her, always wondering what she was gonna do next. But yeah, other than that, I could give 2 fucks about ever hearing her songs.
Dick.
That's a lot of dick. and then she goes on to be in Dick Tracy. There you go. It all comes full circle.
Well, I mean, when it comes to her, I think that circle kind of breaks and goes off like every direction. But
and then she married Dennis Rodman.
And then he married himself. So you know,
wait, was that her?
Wait, I don't think they married.
Carmen Electra.
Carmen Electra and Dennis Rodman were married. She fucked around with Dennis. Though.
She was the one.
She fucked.
Do you remember that Dennis Rodman?
Big Wiggle. That didn't sound right at all. I like Dennis Rodman.
Do you remember the Dennis Rodman biopic that came? It was a TV movie that came out on ABC years ago. It was bad, but in that, I remember the whole thing was like Madonna was the one that was getting him to open up about his sexuality and being more okay with all that shit. And I don't know if that's true or not, but it definitely makes sense, you know, because it's Madonna.
It's windy as fuck here.
It's windy as fuck here too.
Yeah, it's going around
like the flu,
like the wind, baby. All right, so Avi's hired at fucking Tony. They figured out that some of those guys robbed the place. They go over there and they fucking put them at gunpoint, and they find out that Boris the Blade's behind it. You know, Boris the bullet dodger. Why do they call him that?
Dodges bullets. Avi.
Makes sense.
That part is cracking me up.
So now they got to go to fucking Boris's place and get him. They fucking They get Boris. They throw him in the trunk. They put the bag over his head, and then a series of events occurs that it's pretty fucking
like the best
entertaining.
part of the fucking movie.
Yeah, because now we got all the intersections coming together, and so Avi and fucking Tony, Tony and what's his buddy's name? What the fuck? You guys at the drag race?
Cameron, you're home.
Oh, Rosebud in the back. What a fucking weird name. This is my guy, Rosebud. Take him to a nice Jewish doctor.
Yeah.
I'll take to the doctor as soon as we get to like the jewel bag.
So you got those three guys in the car with fucking Boris in the trunk. You got Saul and Tyrone and Vinny and the dog in the other car. And fucking Saul got the brilliant idea that they were going to go after these guys, go after Boris with fucking replica guns. And then you got Turkish and Tommy who are leaving, and they're driving down the road, and fucking he takes the fucking drink and throws it out the car window. We just hear,
yep,
yeah.
Which
we just hear a car. We hear a car crash.
I was gonna say the
ahead,
milk
Chuck.
that he was drinking, I thought was chocolate milk because it looked like it was in a chocolate, like it was a brown container kind of thing. But when he threw the milk out and you see it all over it's white.
Yeah,
yeah.
It confused me.
Might have just been
Maybe,
the container.
but man, what a lie that container was saying. That'd piss me off.
So they're driving down the road. Tommy throws the drink out the window. We hear a car crash. We don't know until then it goes over to Tony and Avi talking because he's trying to convince Avi to fucking kill Boris. he's like, well, why you stab him? He's like, oh, isn't that kind of cold-blooded? You want to shoot him.
cold-blooded.
And fucking Rosebud's like, oh, I got a blade back here. He pulls out some fucking sword. Like he's got a goddamn swashbuckler.
I like how he pulls out like the kitchen knife, and he's like, clean the butter off that.
No, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And fucking
I was gonna say earlier, speaking of Vinny in the car and all that and craziness going on. Earlier, when they're on the car and he's trying to get the answers out of that guy, and the guy's having to walk with the car because he has him stuck in the window. And when he finally talks or whatever, and old dude looks at him, he's like, are we taking him with us? He just it's subtle things about that happen in this movie that are just so hilarious.
Right. Like
it really is fucking funny.
Yeah. Because the story's moving along, but it's those clever little quips that make it more entertaining. You got the comedy relief, you got all that, and it's just works out really well. So yeah, fucking they're arguing, and all of a sudden you see the fucking drink land on their windshield, and they're the ones that end up crashing. So they're crashed, and Boris makes his way out of the trunk.
That's it.
So you got fucking Boris in the middle of the road with his hands are zip tied or whatever. He got a bag over his head, and he's just like dancing in the middle of the street. Like, where the fuck am I? It's so weird because the way his legs are, he's just kind of like I think you would be able to figure out by the noises that you're around a road or something to that effect. But he's just kind of like trying to get his bearings, and he doesn't have time because Saul and those guys come and they fucking hit him with the car. Because they're replica guns. How do you know they even fire? Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Boom. Fucking the window blow out.
He's like, what the fuck, Saul?
I probably laughed the hardest in that scene.
Right?
Just because it was just like,
such a crazy scene.
Yeah, he's like, is that Boris?
It's like
and he's just like wobbling over in the middle of the road, and you're just like, what the fuck? And he just starts doing that shit, like, yeah. And then bam.
I want to
it's
know,
one of those
the
funny things about
process.
this.
I want to know the filming process of that scene because that had to be a lot going on.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if they got Benny Hill for that, because it's pure calamity. And then it's like Tony's just looking over at him like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden he gets hit by the car, fucking they're like, okay, and they just grab the briefcase and oh yeah, fucking Rosebud, his goddamn sword's stuck in him, so he's fucking done.
Like, you want to take him with us? You can pick a part.
So they're getting out of the car, and he's like, oh, trying to not to make a scene or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, we're making a scene. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, just walk.
So they go in the bar, and now fucking Turkish and Tommy are back at Boris's house because they don't realize what has happened. And we think fucking Boris is fucking toast because he just got hit by the car. And they're fucking standing there, and fucking all of a sudden you see Boris come into frame in the background, and he just walks right past. I think he grabs Tommy by the fucking balls.
Yeah, he throws him against the door.
Like runs him up against the door, and then all of a sudden he goes in the house and comes back out with his fucking giant fucking gun. It's like, oh, okay, the shit is on.
Well, like whenever Vinny had that shotgun in the beginning, whenever they go to rob the bookie place, he's like, what the fuck is that? He's like, it's a shotgun. He's like, it's an anti-aircraft weapon.
Yeah.
So the big ass shotgun.
I think one of those scenes, Lenny fucking ended up hitting himself in the nuts from the recoil on one of those guns. Accidentally, fucking actually hit himself in the nuts and fucked him up. Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, fucking. So now fucking Boris is going over to the bar. You got fucking Saul and them who've arrived at the bar, and they go in and they decide that they're gonna fucking be badasses with these replica guns. And this is such a cool scene because you got Tony sitting there and he's drinking or whatever, and these guys go in there and they're fucking trying to hold him up or whatever, and he's just telling them this story about big brave balls and how you're like, oh, you're the main prick, and you got your two balls next to you, and fucking how they're gonna shrivel up or whatever, because he's realized once the one guy tries to fucking hit him with the gun that he sees that fucking replica is engraved on the gun, and I that's a cool scene because the shot where he's like, oh, you got fucking replica etched in your gun, and then it goes and shows replica, and he's like, oh, and I got Desert Eagle 0.50 on mine, and it's like poof, and then they cut to that, and it's just fucking Vinnie Jones, man, just total badass in this film. Yeah,
I always wanted a Desert Eagle, but that's just so pointless.
Yeah, he actually is said to be a really nice guy. Like, he's one of those that like always plays a tough ass, and you always kind of think he'd be kind of an asshole. He was actually filming a movie not too far away from here about 2 years ago, something like that. I'm horrible with time, so it could have been longer, whatever. The place where I got my sleeve at, he actually went and got a tattoo on his back there. Right. It was in Moorhead, which is like 30 minutes away from here, about 30 minutes away from here. I was like, oh shit, that's pretty fucking cool. But they said he was, from what they said he was super cool and chill and easy to talk to and shit. Like, that'd be kind of crazy to like go and get a tattoo and like you look over there and there's the Juggernaut, bitch.
You know, whenever I hear his name, I always think of this movie. I think of Euro Trip. He's the fucking soccer hooligan.
Yeah.
And then Midnight Meat Train.
Midnight Meat Train. Yeah. Underrated film. I hated it when I first saw it, and then years later,
Isn't Bradley Cooper in that too?
That was one of his first bigger movies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Never talks about it though.
Such a good movie though. It's fucked up.
Why not?
A lot of actors that start out in doing their bigger movies that are in horror, a lot of them don't talk about it much at all. I mean, Kevin Bacon just recently started bringing up Friday the 13th in interviews the last couple of years, I've noticed. Johnny Depp never talks about Nightmare on Elm Street. Dennis Hopper back.
It's not like they're bad films. You know, you should be proud.
It's just because, right. Well, it's like Dennis Hopper years ago when he did Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. He was on David Letterman, and apparently Dennis Hopper was like, they were like, why would you do that? And he's like, basically money.
Needed the money,
like, but it's like, and that's like one of my favorite like sequels of that, you know. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but For some reason, they don't ever talk about it. I've never heard Bradley Cooper ever talk about Midnight Meat Train.
Well, if we see Brad Cooper, we're gonna have to grill him. Be like, hey, why
totally
the fuck
should.
do you not talk about it? I will. If I see him, I'll say, hey, why don't you talk about that film? He's like, oh,
why don't you talk about the best movie you've ever been in? I would just completely just be like that. Just really just be an asshole.
That's an asshole. Can't forget the A-Team.
There you go.
Never saw that one.
It's out there.
You're not missing
Sure
much.
it is.
Well, then they go upstairs in the bar. Is that where they go upstairs in the hallway and have that little shootout or whatever?
Yeah, fucking Dennis Farina. He's so fucking hilarious. He comes out because they've just been dejected, because their whole plan, Saul and those guys, their plan just didn't work. So they're leaving and they run into fucking Avi, and he's like, yeah, fuck you. And then fucking Boris walks in with the gun. He's like, you know what? Fuck you too.
Give me the briefcase.
Yeah.
That's another kill that's kind of funny. When you're talking about when
So that scene's so good too.
Yeah, because you're talking about when Duder finally gets shot to death, right?
Yeah, because fucking Tony hears them fucking arguing out in the hallway or whatever, and he
grab your socks.
Yeah, he surmises what's going on, and so he says, Avi, pull up your socks, which is get the fuck down.
Yeah,
and he starts shooting it through the walls, and he ends up hitting Boris.
Yeah,
and once he goes in there, fucking Boris still alive. It's one of those that silly comic death where you shoot the guy and he's still not dead. What was that? I'm trying to think. There's one film that stands out.
It's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer when Pee Wee Herman gets staked and he's still alive in the other movie.
Yeah.
But it's funny you mentioned that because my pick's coming up.
Oh wow. But yeah, no, that kind of cracked me up too because he's just like he keeps shooting him and then he goes to talk to is it Tyrone that's laying there because he got hit too, right?
Yeah.
And he goes to talk to him and then Boris is over still running his mouth and he's like, oh god, just shut the fuck up or whatever. Just starts shooting at him, just making sure he's fucking dead. Won't you ever fucking die? Like, yeah, another good scene.
Yeah, a lot of fun. And like I said, it's that stereotypical, this guy, you got to shoot him like 1,000,000 times to kill him. And so now, fucking Saul and them have managed to take the briefcase, and they got the diamond. We're playing fucking hot potato with the diamond. They go back, and fucking Avi and Tony get back to them, and they're trying to, hey, give up the diamond. We want the diamond. And Vinny's trying to convince him that the fucking dog ate it. And then Avi wants Tony to cut the fucking dog open.
Like, get it out.
I hate dogs.
What do you mean, get it out of him?
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute. I ain't cutting this fucking dog open. Are you crazy? But then, sure enough, he's getting ready to, and he's like, wait, okay. And he gives up the diamond. So, Avi's sitting there looking at the diamond, admiring the diamond, and the dog ends up jumping up and eating the diamond. So, and fucking Avi just starts firing away. Like, starts fucking trying to shoot the dog, firing all over the place. Dog fucking jumps out the window, and they're like, "Oh, come on, Tony, we gotta get him." And he's running out the door, and he's like, "Come on, Tony, what are you doing?" Come to find out, he just fucking shot Tony, man.
That's another one of those scenes because he's kind of just looking at him, and there's just that moment where he's like, "Oh,
yeah."
And it's that thing, we talked about it, with Frankie, with Boris, it's these comical deaths that make it so much fun. And it's like I said, you get just enough of each character to where you're like, oh, this is good. It didn't go too much. And it's hilarious how they all come to their demise.
Right.
So yeah, so now the dog's got the diamond. Fucking Avi is trying to track it down. He's running out. He just shot Tony. So they cut to the him fucking taking the pills on the plane, fucking stamp the passport, and he's back in the U.S. He's like, all right, fuck this, I'm out. I just couldn't kill somebody. You got anything to declare? Yeah, don't go to England. So now,
I don't think I'd ever go to England.
So now finally, okay, we're gonna have this fight again. You got to fucking do this fight, or Bricktop's gonna kill all your friends. Fucking Mickey is getting shit faced at his mom's wake, and they're like, Turkish and them show up and they're like, hey, you got to fight. We don't want anybody else to get hurt. And he agrees to do it, but they're worried he's gonna fuck it up because he's all drunk. And so they get there, but little do they know that there's a whole plan in place. And we come to find out soon enough, you get Mickey's character in there, and you're like, oh god, how is he gonna fuck it up this time? And he's in there, and he's supposed to throw the fight again, and like right out the gate, he knocks the guy down. You're like, oh shit. It's like
luckily he gets back up.
Yeah, luckily it's like, oh, get the fuck back up, guy. And they got to do a little bit of back and forth or whatever, but he ends up fucking knocking the guy out anyway. At some point, he's like, you know what, fuck it. And so now Bricktop is like, I'm just gonna kill all these motherfuckers. But before he gets the chance to, fucking Mickey's crew shows up and takes care of them. So we get the fucking
killer ending to it. Yeah,
we get the payback. We get the revenge for Mum, and find out that Mickey and those guys have placed bets on him to win. So they're getting a big payday, and fucking Bricktop and his guys have been dispatched, and now fucking Tommy and Turkish, they didn't get any money back there, but fucking they're getting to walk away. They're not under the fucking thumb of Bricktop anymore. They don't have to worry about getting killed or whatever. So it seems like everything's kind of falling back into place at this point. Go ahead, Chuck.
I love that whole scene where it shows them walking down the steps after the fight, mm-hmm. and it even like it freeze frames and Jason Statham, or however the fuck you say it, Statham. He's talking and he's like, yeah, two of us are in shock, but why isn't Mickey or whatever like seemed phased by it? And then it shows you what all went on because Bricktop knocks on the window of his car and hoping to get like a gun from one of those guys, and then boom, and then it shows you that Mickey put the drop on them way before, like he had this planned and all that shit. And I like heist movies. It kind of sucks me in every time. I guess it's
in the head.
Sucks me off every time.
Wonder why I'm single. But I have a stuttering issue on occasions too, so whatever. But yeah, where they're hiding in the car for when it shows you like with the guy that they both pull out like shotguns and just boom, blast them away. And it just, I don't know. It's one of those scenes where you're like, it's fucking justice. It's fucking justice.
Very
good job, guys. Good job.
Very satisfying. And it's like, you would think that these characters have been kind of set up in a way where they're gypsies. So you think, oh, these fucking guys, they don't know what the fuck they're doing or whatever, but they're very smart. They fool you. And they got the drop on Bricktop. They got their money, and fucking Turkish and Tommy go back. They cross paths with we see Saul and those guys trying to get rid of the body, but they've been caught. It's their ending, which was inevitable. Where okay, we fuck up left and right, and now okay, we were trying to get rid of this body and we got caught.
Yeah, there's no way that their characters could have gotten out of this scot-free.
No,
there's no way. That's the whole point of it.
That was their density. I mean, destiny.
Yeah, I want to go back to the fight though. Like the one scene I did like was the whenever Mickey gets knocked out and he goes flying up in the air and lands, but then he like floats into like a pool of water. Like that transition's so fucking good. Because I don't know if you guys ever been in a fight and got like to the point where you get almost knocked out. Like it's almost the exact same feeling. Like you can't really hear anything. It's all muffled like you're underwater and everything's just dark until you get like your vision back.
Now, see, I've never been in that situation because I only knock motherfuckers out. They don't knock me out.
Okay, whatever. I haven't lost too many fights. But you have a few fists to the fucking temple. You feel like you're on another plane. Now you get hit in the fucking nose. It's a totally different thing because then you can't see because your eyes go to water. And you're like, But yeah,
Yeah.
I totally get it. Yeah. Haven't been in a fight in a long time, but you know.
That whole transition was just so dope how he did that though. Like it was perfect.
Yeah.
Just goes back to the awesome camera work and just it's kind of perfect. I mean, every scene, transition, everything, it just fits. It's pretty perfect movie. Minus the whole how did he get in there with all the guns going through the thing. Minus that, it's pretty fucking
like I
perfect
said,
movie.
that's just
I know I'm just being stupid, but
It's
yeah,
a loophole.
right.
But then, okay, so fucking Turkish and Tommy go back and discover that all the gypsies are gone. You know, everybody's packed up and moved on to their new place, and it's like, all right, but they find the dog, the fucking dag is still there, so they take the dog. They take the dog, and hey, they get the goddamn squeaky toy. So we got to take him to the doctor, get out the squeaky toy, and turns out, motherfucker's got a big ass diamond. So our hero
ending. Oh yeah, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say yeah, but the last shot, the way that it ends, is perfect. I mean, it's just kind of it's hilarious too. You know, I didn't know if you were going to say anything about it or not.
No, that was pretty much wrapping it up because, that takes care of it. You know, everything's been wrapped up with a nice, neat bow. And like you said, it really feels like a kind of a perfect movie. Are there?
Well, they do go and like they get the diamond looked at and all that. Like, anybody, blah. And then it goes to old dude like getting taking his shot, whatever, and it just stamps and it just says the end. It's like, all right, that's cool.
He gets the phone call and he's like, "Hey, I got this diamond here. You interested?" And he's like, "All right." So his trip starts all over again.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, now what? But yeah, everything wrapped up really good. Like we said, all the characters. There's not one character to me that really stands out more so than another. Like everybody does their part perfect, and everybody is just so much fun. It doesn't matter if it's all those guys, if it's Tony and Avi, if it's fucking Turkish and Tommy, Bricktop, whoever. Everybody just nails their part in this film, and everything is just so smooth. The story is clean and smooth and fun. And it's just one of those films that, this is Guy Ritchie's masterpiece. I don't care what anybody else says. To me, this film is one of those great ones. And like I said before, I ended up picking this film because I hadn't seen it in so long, and going back and watching it, I enjoy it just as much this time around than I did back in the day. So it's definitely one of those ones that holds up. Is there any other scenes or quotes or anything that kind of sticks out that we might not have discussed? Chad, is there anything that you have notes on or anything?
I mean, the quotable scenes are definitely the fucking you like dags, and then the pig story. Like I think those are two of the better ones.
Yeah.
I do want to go and try to break down a lot of the gypsy lingo, because that scene when they're out there with the dogs and the rabbits, like you can just see the look on Tommy and Turkish's face when they're just like, "What the fuck did he just say?"
No fucking clue.
Yeah, but I think Brad Pitt fucking killed it. Like I was watching a reaction video of a British mob guy who was around back in the day, and he said apparently Brad Pitt actually stayed with a friend of his in England for like 2 months to learn how to speak gypsy, because that's how they spoke back then.
Yeah,
like he was part of organized crime in England, like way back in like the 80s, and he said that's exact. And he did a 17-year bid in prison for murder.
Right.
So he was like, yeah, he's like, he actually stayed with a friend of mine, and he's like, and that's how he got the ropes. And he's like, after I watched the movie, I was like, damn, like he nailed it.
Yeah,
I was like, it just shows, like, goes to show you, like, he can't pull off a fucking British accent, but anything else, sold.
Sure.
Such a good actor.
Chuck, is there any other scenes or anything that stands out to you or is memorable to you that you want to mention?
I was trying to think, but I mean, I think we mentioned all the ones that kind of stuck out in my head. That first fight with when you find out that Brad Pitt's when Mickey's a one punch kind of guy, that's pretty entertaining. And then yeah, the whole thing with Boris, Those are my two favorite scenes because that cracks me the fuck up.
Dude, I love that. Whenever he gets out of that trunk and he's in the middle of that street, man, it's just so fucking funny. And there's just, there's no dialogue or nothing. It's just him in the fucking middle of the street, like doing this fucking shuffle.
Yeah.
And then boom, hits by a car. Yeah, man. It just from start to finish, it's a wild ride. Like I said, everybody nails their roles in this film, and it's like every character plays a pivotal part. It's not just like, here's whoever, even down to like the Tyrones or whoever that are not maybe the main stars or the guys that stick out like Brad Pitt or Benicio or Jason Statham or Dennis Farina. All these guys do a great job, and it's such a fun film. So definitely one of those ones. 25th anniversary, man. So great flick, Guy Ritchie. Props to you for that.
He's such a good actor. He's a really good writer and director. Like I always liked the Rock and Rolla.
Okay,
Gerard Butler. That shit was dope too.
Never saw it.
It's good.
What else has he done? I know
he's done a bunch of shit. He did that King Arthur movie with Charlie Hunnam.
Yep.
Hunnam.
Never saw
that. Sherlock Holmes.
With what's his ass?
RDJ.
Yeah, that one was actually. I like that one. What else?
Oh shit!
I think off the top of my head, didn't he do some kind of Aladdin? Didn't he do the Aladdin movie with Will Smith?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so Snatch is about the only movie I seem to have liked from him.
What a coincidence! How does fucking Aladdin come up twice?
Damn it,
man!
We just myth busted our how good Guy Ritchie is.
The Man from he did that the Man from U.N.C.L.E. remake.
Oh yeah,
I don't even know what that is.
No,
yeah.
He's in a lot.
Like he's good at what he does. I just have not seen a good chunk of his movies because I don't give a shit about the story plot.
Yeah, he's done a bunch of stuff. It's a lot of them I haven't seen either. But like I said, I feel like Snatch is his masterpiece. I think a lot of people would say Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels would be one. I know a lot of that's like it's a kind of like an underground favorite, cult classic.
Sting's
I love that movie. It's good.
Sting's in that, isn't he?
Sting?
Yeah, and he has an appearance in that.
I don't remember. I just remember the shotguns.
I keep thinking. I keep seeing him like in a bar.
Jason Fleming steals the guns in that movie, and I just remember those. And they're like antique shotguns. They can get like hundreds of thousands of dollars for, and then they end up throwing them off the bridge into the fucking lake or in the little river or whatever.
Yeah, I remember shit from that movie. I saw that one.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's definitely got one of the most memorable scenes whenever fucking Vinnie Jones comes walking out and has the shotguns, and he just kind of like drapes them over his shoulders, and he's just walking down the street. That's pretty fucking dope. Yep. Such a good movie.
Vinnie Jones, badass. Yep, and like I said, this puts Guy Ritchie on the map. Like we said, with all the different cuts and director trademarks you see in this film, I think that's kind of what made him stand out back in the day. It's like, hey, here I am. We talk about the different things that, to watch a film and you'll see something and you'll be like, oh, that's definitely Tarantino or Scorsese or whoever, they have these little trademarks.
Right.
And you can definitely recognize the ones that Guy Ritchie has in this one. So
yeah.
Sure. Excellent film. I'm glad we got to go back and watch it again. And I had a lot of fun talking about it. So, and that is 25 years of Go
I was just gonna say I did look it up, and yes, Sting was in that. He played a character named JD.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I just threw that out there.
And to play us out, Sting, and a cut from his new album. Take it away.
I don't know what that means. Play us out. What the fuck does that mean? Fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Yeah. Well, I haven't seen that 1,000 times and laughed every time.
Well, we don't have Bill O'Reilly here tonight, but we do have Chad Meng. And Chad Meng is going to go ahead and cut us to one of the trademarks of our show, which is the random clip of the week.
And one of these days will be canceled. Me too.
I hope not. Where?
Uh-oh. A fade.
Shop. Remember to
Fucking good.
shop smart. Shop smart.
Sam's gonna fuck us on that one.
Probably. And speaking of shopping, for all your needs, we're going to have a few ads that might get you in the mood to go shopping for a few items yourself. Chad, take it away.
Christmas is just around the corner.
Hey everybody, Laser Trading Company is on YouTube. See some of the videos from Mike's travels and experiences. If you haven't already, please head over and subscribe. 7,800 and growing. Thank you all. Laser Trading Company is also available on eBay with various merchandise and collectibles. Hundreds of great gift ideas. That's Laser Trading Company. Laser Trading Company. Laser Trading Company. You know him from Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, Nasty Nation, Graveyard Talk, and the Video Store Clerks Podcast. He is the creator of Stoner Gore, Chuck Nasty! And if you're looking for the latest in extreme horror, head over to Amazon.com, look up Chuck Nasty, and the following titles are available. Along with the latest album, Decay of Man, from Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube now.
And here are Chuck's other books.
Along with.
Yeah, it's the most recent one. That's my collection. 6 stories of everything that can make you laugh, make you gag. Rocking Chair, another good one. It's a quick little read, about 100 pages, about how, furniture can be bad for you sometimes. But yeah, hey, look at that, you got them. I don't even have physical copies of those yet. I'm waiting on them, but yeah.
It's crazy. I just went over to Amazon.com and I was able to purchase these. They shipped it right to my house. It was amazing. So now I get to enjoy these Chuck Nasty classics. Thank
Cheap,
you so
affordable,
much.
good reads.
Thanks, guys.
Like my ex. Wait, no.
Oh.
Anyway.
Also, we have a quick ad also for our friend Tony Wash, who was on
friend of the show, Tony Wash.
About 2 months ago when we did High on the Hog.
A little while back.
He was a guest on our show. So if you missed that episode, go back and please watch. We also talked about his horror game show called Better Luck Than Chuck. Haha. And he has a filming coming out on May 2nd in Denver, Colorado. Go over to Scotchworthy on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere. Go check him out and give him some love and get ready for the new horror game show coming out. Better Luck.
I'm excited for that.
Me too. Because Tony will actually, once he gets some stuff going on, he'll be back on here. And then we will be talking about the game show. We even talked about having a trivia night whenever he comes back on to see how knowledgeable we are with our horror.
That would be fun.
That'd be
fun.
Ditto. Echo. Yeah. But no, yeah.
Go check out Tony Wash.
Better Luck Than Chuck, man. Yeah. Scotchworthy Productions. You can check them out on Instagram, Facebook. I believe we will probably throw some links in the description below, so you can go check them out. Better Luck Than Chuck coming to what you said, Denver, Colorado, on May 2nd,
8 p.m. So it was recorded. I think they're recording it live. I haven't talked to him, but a couple times since he's been on. But I have to. I'll get in contact with him as well and just try to find out some more information for everybody that would like to check it out.
Oh yeah. Sounds cool.
Very cool. Very cool, man. And it's something very different for the horror community. So we'll have more on that going on ahead in the future. Speaking of the future, like I said, programming a note this upcoming week. We won't be live on Tuesday, this next Tuesday coming up, but our pre-tape, our 420 special, episode 155, How High, will be airing on 420 at 4:20 p.m. So you can check that out. And also, it's time for the next pick. It was my pick this week. Next pick is Chad Meng. and our beloved David, who is not here. He's on sabbatical. Much love and a shout out to Dave Ming. What have you guys come up with in your crazy minds that we will be able to enjoy in this next episode?
It's a movie that I feel does not get nearly the love and recognition that it deserves. It is an anthology film with one main character in the whole film for all 4 stories, which is 1995's 4 Rooms, written and directed by Allison Anders, Alexandra Rockwell, Robert Rodriguez, and Quentin Tarantino. Starring Tim Roth.
That's a good
very, very underrated. You don't hear anybody talk about this film very often, and it's a fucking classic. Like I love this movie.
Hell yeah!
It's a wild ride.
I actually watched it last week.
Nice. So that'll be different. I like how we're kind of jumping genres back and forth. That's another thing that goes into my head whenever I'm trying to come up with ones, because it's like, okay, we just did a Western, we just did horror. You know, I don't want to go back to back with a lot of that stuff. We did martial arts. You know, I'm trying to jump the genres and keep it kind of fresh.
Yeah,
so
right.
I
had about 4 choices I wanted to go through, and I was like, we got to do this one. I was like, it's the 30th anniversary coming up in December, because it came out on Christmas Day in 1995.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I was just gonna throw out there that I too have a couple of picks that are not actually horror. So so that's should be interesting.
It's raining or snowing in my room, Wyatt.
Yeah. Rom-coms all day long, folks. No, I'm just kidding. Never.
Debbie does Dallas. I can see it coming.
Everything is welcome here at the video store. We have all different aisles and different films available. So
we have all genres.
Not this coming Tuesday, but the Tuesday after, it will be 4 Rooms. So
April 29th, I believe.
29th. Yeah. We're going to be heading out to Las Vegas, Nevada. We're flying out tomorrow. We're going to be enjoying WrestleMania week. So I hope everybody else enjoys their week. Thank you all for stopping by. We appreciate everybody that takes the time to watch us. Even if you watch us for 10 seconds, you watch us the whole time, whatever. We truly appreciate that. All the links are in the description for Chuck, for me, for Tony, all our different projects and our affiliates to the show. So you can check those out as well and see some great content. Let your friends know. Share, and subscribe to the Video Store Clerks Podcast, because we truly appreciate it.
Yeah, I think we've picked up almost 10 subscribers this past week. So
it's moving along. Much. Yeah.
Thanks for the 5 to 7 people that stuck it out through the show tonight.
Hell yeah. We appreciate everybody coming through. Guys, it's been a fun night. We are your Video Store Clerks. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Peace.
Fucking dags. You like fucking dags?
Oh.
Don't go to England.